David, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with us today. Basically, what we're going to do today is talk a little bit about your experience with our firm, Assist Your Biz. But before we get started, please tell us more about Courtesy Electric.
Thanks, Lewis. Yeah, Courtesy Electric is a family-owned company. It's a large residential commercial electrical contracting company. So we currently work on around 150 homes per month and about 2,500 apartment buildings in any given month. We have around 200 employees. Our staff is still, we run this like a family business. So our staff is very lean when it comes to overhead back of house. So our overhead back of house is relatively, what would I say, 10% of our field electricians. So our office is very small.
Okay, and what states do you guys service? Where's Courtesy Electric located?
So currently we're out of Denver, based out of Denver. We do work all up and down the Front Range of Colorado here and into the mountains and some resort areas.
Cool, excellent. So now, who is David Meyer? I know we have had many conversations in the last year, but people don't know who is David Meyer. I know that you have your family.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, no, I'm David. I'm the current COO and VP of Courtesy Electric here. I run all the day-to-day operations and primarily focus on builder development, organizational, outlooks, basically everything day to day, from taking out the trash to selling a $9 million contract to contract negotiation and also, field management, employee management. So I wear a lot of hats around here.
Awesome. There's a saying, have a business, they said. It'll be fun, they said. And they'll tell you all the things that you need to go from, cleaning person to salesperson to, firefighter. When something goes wrong, you got to jump in and just take responsibility. I completely understand. Now, how has it been working with Angelica? I know she's been part of your company for a few months already. Yep. How has it been adding her to your team, being that she's so far away?
Absolutely. Angelica's been fantastic. We recently had an employee exit a position, and we were really having a hard time backfilling that position. It was something that after COVID, we realized that some of these positions can be remote and, started exploring some different options with that after the candidates that we got for this, lower to entry level position were not fulfilling our needs. When I reached out to Lewis at Xcell Network, he basically told me about moving that offshore essentially, and he's had some really good luck with candidates from some different areas there. So we went down that kind of process, down that rabbit hole with you, and was able to fill that position within about 3 weeks from the first time we talked to her first day, and she's been absolutely fantastic ever since.
Amazing. I know it was a tough decision because we presented you some good candidates, but I'm glad that everything worked out with her and she's still with the company. She's been with the company for how many months now?
I believe we are going on 6 or 7 months. So it's been about half a year.
Excellent. What was your experience working with my Xcell Network and Assist Your Biz?
Yeah. Lewis at Xcell did a great job of keeping us not only up to date throughout the entire interviewing process and placing process, but also the candidates that were brought, I believe, exceeded my expectations as well as my partner's expectations on how well these candidates really are. They are all highly educated, and really their willingness to work, you could see the hunger that they had. You don't see that for a lot of positions, and especially a data entry style position or a administration style position. You don't see that hunger to work. Every candidate that we were presented with The biggest problem we had was we wanted to hire all of them because they were all highly, highly, educated and such a good fit for the job that we were looking for. The hardest part was narrowing down which one we were actually going to take to fill that position.
Amazing, amazing. And I know that Angelica works indirectly with one of your team members. So I don't know if your time utilization has changed, or her time's utilization has changed as she's been able to give her more and more responsibilities. What do you know about that? I know you're very high up in the company, so I'm not sure.
No, as far as my time goes, it's not necessarily a direct, impact to my time, other than the fact that we didn't have to go through the traditional interview process here locally in town, bringing people in for interviews. A lot of time those candidates do not show up. You have stuff scheduled, you block time out. It was fantastic. Being able to do this completely remotely, it was fantastic. You still got a good sense of who they were, and really a good judge of character, I would say, based off the questions that you provided in the informational sheet that you provided to us before we even got to the interview process. Much more in-depth than what we would traditionally have for placing it out in the paper, on Craigslist or Indeed, and getting resumes, nonstop that we have to filter through. Getting a little bit of background on each candidate was extremely important. And really going into that hour-long interview process with the 3 candidates that we had, once again, the hardest part of it was narrowing down exactly which candidate we were going to take.
Okay, perfect. Now, what would you tell another COO like yourself that perhaps wasn't in a bind like you were last year before working with us, right? What would be your recommendations to them if they seem to be in that same situation?
I would say it be open to have your mind blown, essentially. A lot of times when we are trying to fill specific roles, especially admin and some of the lower tier data entry level jobs, it's extremely hard to get a qualified candidate that doesn't want to be just stuck in the same position all day, every day. And we've had extreme challenges with that the job is XYZ. There is some potential to growth, but as of right now, this is the job. We didn't feel like we had any of that, hiring Angelica, being offshore, working remotely has worked out great. She lets us know when she comes in, when she takes lunch, when she leaves. So that's been absolutely fantastic. So hiring remotely has really worked out well for us, for the fact that we're not having to provide a in-office space for somebody, which we were able to rededicate some of our office space for some different needs that we have to grow the company here. Working remotely has been fantastic. All offshore and remote employees log in and let us know they're here. They are constantly on our different channels. We use Slack throughout the day. They're always available at this, snap of a finger, which has been absolutely fantastic. So, having her fill the role of, entry-level admin and back of house has been just absolutely fantastic.
Okay. And I know that we recently did another position for another business venture that you guys have, and I hope to see you in a few months back to tell us how it's gone with that new position. And thank you very much for your time, David. This has been amazing.
Absolutely. I cannot wait to experience a little more growth and be able to hire many more.